I am in Arizona. Good to see everybody. What is going on? How is everybody? Do me a favor. Put in the comment section OTVO, stands for Overturn Terry versus Ohio. Put it in the comment section for me if you would, please, if you just start seeing this video. Anyway, I'm in Arizona. Some disturbing news today. I think everybody who's on Team DLZ already knows, but Freeman got arrested, and apparently he got gnarly and disgusting that he got tackled and they broke his camera and they put him in jail. You know, if people in the 1A community don't know, Freeman and I squashed it a long time ago, and James actually texted me and asked me to air the conversation that we had. I never did because I just kind of wanted to stay out of drama and just kind of steer another way, but unfortunately there's almost no chance of life not being somewhat dramatic. And so Freeman getting arrested, you know, maybe I will air that conversation now, because he did ask me to air it and I didn't, but maybe I should, you know what I mean? Because I think it shows people can come together and agree to disagree and still squash a beef, because Freeman sent people to my GoFundMe when I was in jail, and in my GoFundMe I saw comments that said Freeman sent me. So you know, it was just like, you know what I mean? And then I talked to the guy on the phone when I got out, and I was just like, we squashed our beef. So I guess I should have aired the conversation. I guess I should have, but I didn't. Maybe I will. I don't know. What is going on, Playboy? I cannot see anything. The reason I'm wearing these glasses is because I'm in Arizona and the sun is so bright, you cannot imagine. It is 115, 116 degrees here. What is going on, Team DLZ? What is going on? I can't see any of the numbers. I can't see if anybody's watching this thing. I can't see anything. As you guys know, I have like a semi self-driving car, so I can just push on my cruise control and my steering assist and just let that bad chicken roll. But anyway, so for Freeman, I'm so bummed out. But it makes me think about this, you know, what if you went to jail? What if you got arrested? You know, James is a celebrity. He's going to get thousands and thousands of dollars, just like you guys donated $60,000 to me for my appeal when I was in that dungeon. But what if you're not a celebrity? What if you don't have any money? What if you don't have any money to get out of jail and you're put in jail? How do you get out of jail? You know, and when I heard that Freeman went to jail today, the first thing I started to think was, man, when you get arrested, the first thing you think, whether you like it or not, is how am I going to get out of jail? Who's going to get me out of jail? Now, of course, Freeman's different. He's an auditor with hundreds of millions of views on videos, if not a billion, if you count all the people who've pirated his footage and put it on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or whatever. So, but what about you? If you got arrested and went to jail, do you know how you would get out of jail? My mouth is so super dry. Obviously, I'm in Arizona, like I said a few times. I'm sorry, you guys, I can't see the comments. Team DLZ, is Coke Doggy Dog? Oh, so bright. What is going on out there, Team DLZ? How are you guys doing? I'm bummed out for James. Listen, especially because he's being charged with a felony, and that system there in Tucson likely hates him, so they're probably going to want to give him a really high bond. If the whole thing is corrupt, like, I mean, put a 1 in the chat if you think the entire system of the justice system is corrupt. If it's corrupt as I think it is, then he gets charged with that felony, and then the judge puts either a ridiculous high bond, or maybe there'll be a hold on him for a couple days. You know, just going through the grinder of being put in jail is so painful. I mean, it really is. Absolutely horribly painful. Put a 1 in the chat if you've been to jail. Put a 1 in the chat if you've picked somebody up from jail. It is the worst experience you will. Number one, they put you in torture cuffs. Put a 1 in the chat if you've been in cuffs before, and they were so painful. It was
in 2 miles. Take exit 125 onto Sorryville Avenue.
Torture cuffs, and that's the first step. Then the second step is they put their hands all over you. If they don't stick their knees in your back, in your neck, in your groin. The cops physically hurt you when you get arrested. The whole process, they put you in cuffs, and then a lot of times when you're in those torture cuffs, the cops will grab you and chicken wing your arm up, chicken wing you up. As your hands are chained together behind your back, the cop will walk up and crack the back of your arm up, which rips on your shoulder. It hurts 100 times out of 100. It always hurts. And then your wrists are so completely gouged and destroyed from those cuffs. And often the police will grab that chain and jerk you around by the chain of the torture cuffs that they put you in. It's so okay. Then you get to the jail, and this is the most dehumanizing part of the entire thing, because what they'll do now, there's some places that just x-ray you. I've been to a couple jails where they just, in Ironton, Ohio, they just take a x-ray of your midsection to see if you have anything in you or any weapons tucked in you. So that was nice, actually. I got that treatment, thank God, in that place. But when I was arrested in Las Vegas and taken to the dungeon, I was stripped down naked and then threatened with absolute violence if I did not bend over at the hips 45 degrees, spread my backside, and cough twice. And if I moved or resisted in any way, shape, or form, they would hurt me, is what they told me. That's what they told me. It was so ridiculously authoritarian and brutal and graphic. So just understand, that's what James Freeman is likely going through. They torture cuffed him, they took him down to the dungeon, and they absolutely violated his personal boundaries at every single level. If he got booked into a jail, he was treated so poorly in the last couple hours. It is atrociously bad what he was put through. And just so you know, even if they no-bill this and there's not going to be a prosecution on it because it's on camera and that's let's see the video, because the prosecutors want to prosecute you. Put a one in the chat if the prosecutors want to prosecute you. If you know the prosecutor wants to prosecute you, wants to put you in jail, the prosecutor wants you to plead guilty to something. Because every single December when it comes time to bonus, they're all bragging about what their winning percentage is. Oh yeah, my winning percentage is 97.8%. And the other one's like, oh yeah, mine's 99. And the other's like, mine's 99.1 winning percentage. Because they get their bonuses and their trophies and accolades and promotions a lot based on their winning percentage. So they never want to drop a case. They want you to plead guilty to something. They're going to say they're going to plead guilty to a lower misdemeanor, but they need you to plead guilty to something. My mouth is so dry, I have no water. I'm so sorry. Hopefully I'm not all frothing, but I'm not going to stop. I mean, just thinking about what Freeman is going through right this second. Because let me just tell you what they do next. They put you in a room with only a wooden bench or a metal bench where you go through processing. And this room is 5 foot by 8 foot. If he's not in a giant holding cell with a bunch of other dudes, half of them are homeless. And the stench inside of it, and the only place there is to go to the bathroom is on a stainless steel little toilet. And on the back of the toilet is your drinking water. It's so ridiculously, offensively sponginous and disgusting. It really, really is. It's the worst place you could ever go today. There's no worse place that you could be put than in the dungeon. There's no place. There's nowhere. It's the most dangerous place in the world for you. Put a one in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. And so that's where James Freeman is right now. He's in the most dangerous place on earth for him, in an American jail. Because if the inmates don't want to kill you, the guards want to kill you, or they're looking. The thing with the jail guards, there's 4 out of 5 of those jail guards are total, disgusting, horrible, authoritarian pricks. You guys know who you are, you disgusting, horrible pigs. 20% of the jail guards, believe it or not, I was in there 4 months. 20% of the jail guards, 10%. I'm generous at 20. What am I doing? 10%. 10% of the jail guards are really freaking nice people. I'm shit you not. I am not kidding you. I swear to Christ, 10% of the jail guards are genuinely nice human beings. You would not believe it. I saw one guy, this black guy, dreads, just totally, completely melts down right there in the dorm in front of everybody. Insubordination. You go to the hole for insubordination. Disrespect to an officer. You go to the hole for disrespect for an officer. And this little old man guard, as the guy screams in his face, he's in jail. The guard has absolute power over him. And this guy who's blacker than black comes from urban America, and here's this white country jail guard. And he yells in the guard's face, which means you go to the hole. And he yells in his face for like 10, 20, 30 seconds. He goes off on this jail guard. Jail guard takes his hand, puts it up on his shoulder and says, "Dear Christ in heaven, pray for Jerome now. He needs you now more than ever." Jerome breaks down crying. The guard can't hug him, but he can hold his hands. And he tells him, "I can't hug you, but I can hold your hand." And he held his hand, and Jerome cried, and the guard didn't put him in jail. So you tell me, the guy's got absolute power over you. You broke the rules. You broke the rules. That means you go to the hole, is what that means in jail when you break the rules, especially when you disrespect a guard to their face and scream. You're going to the hole. And this guard prayed for him instead. I was just like, way. He left the door open to the rec yard. His whole shift. You could go outside in the rec yard. You just give him a hand. He gives you a nod. You go out in the rec yard. Like, what? And you're like, why would he didn't have any of it in him. He didn't have any of it in him. None of it. He didn't have any of that authoritarian hatred for humanity that it takes to want to and enjoy being cruel as you chain people up inside of a dungeon, which is what James Freeman is going through right this second. He's chained up in a dungeon. They leave you in cuffs when they book you sometimes. I don't know which jail in Pima, I'm not sure the process there, but I know in Clark County, I know in LA County, when they lock you up, they leave you in torture cuffs. You're in those torture cuffs the entire process. And the weight alone of the torture cuffs, where'd I go? The weight alone of the torture cuffs, thank you, Oosh. Indents your wrists severely. It indents into your wrists severely. It hurts so bad. It leaves an indentation on your wrist for days. The indentation goes away after, I guess, 12 hours or so maybe, but then the aching pain that the torture cuffs do to your wrist remains. And then they give you food that is not made for human consumption, but that's what you're supposed to eat. And the stench, the horrific, horrible stench of how many homeless people are right there in with you, and they've been outside sleeping in ditches and trash for, let me see, Pima? Yeah, he's gonna have a good homeless population there in Pima, I'm sure. You're gonna have a couple, and it's gonna smell terrible. And they're gonna eat the food off the ground. I remember I was in a holding cell where they, it holds 20, but there's like 40 dudes in there. And this homeless dude got in there, and they had served lunch earlier, but it was gone. A couple people kept apples from lunch, and one guy had eaten his apple and then threw it behind the toilet, behind the little steel can that smells horrible. And the homeless dude comes in there, he gets dropped in there, and he's like, "Is there lunch?" And they're like, "No, we already served lunch." And then he goes behind the toilet and picks up the apple core, and eats the apple core off the ground where everybody had pissed. And I was just like, when I first called jails and prisons in this country a dungeon, a lot of people on the internet were like, "Yeah, that's right. And and every time anybody ever refers to it, that so-and-so went to jail, you tell them they went to a dungeon. They went to a fucking dungeon. And your life is never more in jeopardy. Ever. I could go on and on and on. I don't have a lot of time tonight, but I'll stay with you for another minute here, and I'll close out my story here. So, the next 12 hours of Freeman's life are going to be completely hell, because they won't give you a place to lay down. They won't give him a cot to lay down in and sleep in. They won't be like, hey, here, lay down right here and rest up after you got slammed by the cop. And I know we broke your camera, but hey, right? So anyway, listen, I just wanted to jump on for a little while and talk about Freeman. I think I should air that conversation. It's funny, you know, it's because, you know, it is what it is. Maybe I will. Freeman, if you see this when you get out, which maybe you will, maybe you won't, but if you do, I'm rooting for you, dude. I'm really sorry. And to the A1 community, I don't have any beef with Freeman, and we squashed it. And so I'm really happy that people are rallying around him and raising significant funds for him, because he's going to need it, especially charged with attacking a cop. And they won't drop it for at least 1 or 2 rounds. They'll keep it through 1 or 2 pre-trials. I mean, maybe. Let's see what the video shows. But even they don't even care. They just go with the charges. It's absolutely insane. Listen, I gotta get. I love you guys. Team DLZ. Put Team DLZ in the chat. I love you guys. I absolutely love the relationship I have with so many of you, and being able to talk about some experiences and the processes that the system has created. The system created this. We didn't create this. We didn't demonize police. Police demonize themselves by following policies, procedures, and protocols that are brutal, inhumane, and barbaric. All right. So anyway, prayers for Freeman, everybody. Hopes up. I think they're promoting his Cash App. They're promoting Freeman's Cash App, which is on his page, James Freeman. Everybody here should drop $5 or $10 on his Cash App. Every single person here, 600, 700 people, I think at one time, whatever, 350, whatever there is. Each and every person here should go by James Freeman page and drop $5 on his Cash App. 300 people, that would be $1,500 we put into his account, which he's going to need that money. All right, I'm going to get the flock out of here. I love you guys. Thanks for coming on my TED Talk. Team DLZ, I can't see the chat. I love you. I'll see you on the next one. Later, Gators.